Hello everybody, welcome back to another weather forecast. I'm meteorologist Aiden Leisure, and today we're going to be taking a look at the temperatures for the next couple of days, as well as some of those weather patterns we're going to be experiencing here in the next week or so. And I will say it's going to remain pretty interesting up in the northern Rockies. As we see here in this big graphic, you can see all this moisture residing in the Pacific Northwest. It just keeps getting battered. It's been like this for weeks now. We're seeing record amounts of rainfall in the area. So this place is going to be wet, and eventually all of that wetness is coming towards our area. As you can see, a lot of that's going to brush across the northern Rockies and turn into a low pressure system and eventually form weather systems off in towards the east. So that's how the weather is going to kind of happen as the week goes forward. We're going to be seeing a lot of excess moisture, especially when we blow this up. You can see right away a lot of moisture. We're seeing a lot of it hit the mountains and then come off of it as snow. So you can see we're going to be kind of in an active period of weather here as all of this moisture starts to fire off of the Pacific Northwest and towards our area and towards the east. We're going to be a little wet on Wednesday. We may be seeing a little bit of rain, not necessarily any wintry mix yet. Rather, on Friday is when we may be seeing a little bit more of that wintry mix and maybe even a little bit of snow in some places. So please make sure you guys are paying attention to the weather, especially if you guys have any parties you guys need to be traveling to for Christmas. Make sure you guys are paying attention to your weather. So let's take a look at the high temperatures though. Pretty warm across the entire graphic. You can see even Rapid City down there in the 60s. Wonderful, wonderful. You can see down here in Billings as well, 55 degrees. That foot of snow is on its way out. Absolutely, probably melted already. Not sure if it has yet or not, but it's going to be very quick if it does melt. Let's take it into tonight. You can see you guys aren't even going to get below freezing in Billings, so that snow by tonight may be gone, as even an entire foot had fallen. So we're going to see here the mountain valley towns definitely remaining a little colder at night tonight. You can see also places like Cody, Wyoming, off of the mountains, still getting that mountain breeze as the weather kind of pushes eastward. You can see it's going to be a little warmer down there, and we're going to see the full effect of that tomorrow. Now here, this is when we have this low pressure kind of coming through the area. We're going to really start to see its effects tomorrow, and you can see how warm it is here in some places across the eastern portion of Montana. You can see places like Billings still in the 50s, Rapid City still in the 60s. You can see down there definitely going to be very warm. It's going to be very warm because of all the air coming off of the mountain as a result of the low pressure system making its way eastward. And a lot of that air on the mountain is cold, and when it comes down the mountain, it is going to become very warm very fast. It's going to sink and eventually come down towards us as pretty much giant gusts of wind, right? So we're going to be seeing a little bit of a windy day on Wednesday. It's going to be pretty intense in some places, and we'll get to that. But tomorrow night, we're going to stay a lot colder. Everything is going to kind of calm down tomorrow night, and eventually we're going to be seeing that cold return to most of the areas where it's familiar. You can see places like Missoula getting into the teens down there. It's going to be pretty cold in those mountain valley towns, especially out here in the northeast. Towards Williston, we're going to be seeing a lot more cold come into the area as that low pressure system kind of makes its way through. Now, Billings, let's take a look at your 5-day forecast. This is where I really want to talk about Wednesday, right? Tuesday, it's going to be a little more mild. Wednesday is when it's going to get a little more active. We're going to be seeing this low pressure system start to form kind of a little east of town. We're going to see it mainly northeast of town. We're going to see this form, and that's really going to bring a lot of air off the mountains, and that's going to cause a very interesting problem in the way of wind. If you're closer to the mountains, obviously it's going to be a lot windier. Even if you're far away, you're still going to be feeling the effects. We have a high wind watch issued for the area of Billings, Montana, and even pretty much anywhere across the northern Rocky Front Range, we're going to be seeing these winds. So once we get to Wednesday, around noon or so, maybe the afternoon is when it's going to be most intense. It's going to ramp up pretty quickly and then be out of our hair by the nighttime. So we may be seeing, though, isolated instances of 50 to 60 mile an hour gusts with 25 to 35 mile an hour sustained winds. So please make sure you guys are weather aware tomorrow, especially tomorrow. If all of the snow has melted and everything is evaporated, we're going to be seeing a lot of dust. If that's not the case, then maybe we won't be seeing that much dust if it stays wet. We don't necessarily want that dust to be around because it's going to reduce our visibility when we're driving. It's going to become a danger in that sense. Very hard to breathe outside, especially with all of those dust particles outside getting kicked up by the wind. Now I hope by this time we're still going to have a little bit of moisture on the ground as this snow kind of melts. It's going to prevent dirt from getting kicked up and then kicked up as dust and then pushed eastward. So we're not going to be necessarily in a huge dust storm like these events usually happen when it's very dry. So we luckily have snow that's melting, and we're going to see maybe a little less dust than we're used to, but still, this wind is going to be pretty brutal. It's going to be kind of cold as we enter the later half of the day. It's going to get a little colder, but it's going to be warm at first, and eventually it will push us towards the nighttime temperatures where it's going to become a little more cold. So just make sure you guys are weather aware on Wednesday, and then into Friday, obviously, we're going to have that chance here for a wintry mix as we get into Friday, and that will mainly take place around Friday afternoon, Friday evening into Friday night, and then maybe into early Saturday morning, but that will get out of our hair by then. So make sure you guys are weather aware, especially Wednesday and Friday. Those are going to be some really interesting weather days, so make sure you guys are prepared, bundled up, all that jazz. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next forecast.